Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to talk about Talend Cloud Architecture. Take few minutes and observe the Talend Cloud Architecture diagram because this will be a little different from whatever you might be seeing with Talend on-premise. You might be seeing a couple of different terminologies or terms. So take few minutes and look at this diagram very closely. Okay, so once you do that, before I continue, a note, which is some of the services that you are seeing here are described, that I'm going to describe further, may not be available to you depending on your license or deployment type. You need to remember that. At a high level, if you look at this diagram, which is divided into two parts: local network and cloud infrastructure. The local network, as you can see on the left side, includes a web browser, a Talend Studio, and then Talend API tester, remote engine Gen 2 and a remote engine, and a runtime server. So let's talk about the local network first, what it means. So whatever you see on the local network, which is managed by the client, whatever you see on the right side, which is managed by Talend and hosted by Talend. As you can see here, cloud infrastructure is managed by Talend, future upgrades are done by Talend, maintenance is done by Talend, and hosting is done by Talend. Client is not responsible for anything you see on the right side, whereas on the left side, whatever you see has to be done or installed, set up, everything done by the client. So from your browser, the web browser, you can access different cloud applications. For example, like all these cloud applications, or even Talend Management Console, Talend data preparation, all those can be accessed within the web browser, obviously, right? Talend Cloud. If not from web browser, how are you going to access it? So you use the web browser for that. From Talend Studio, though, you can publish data integration jobs to TMC as tasks and then make them available to web users and run them in the cloud, and also benefit from Talend Cloud data preparation features through the use of couple of components like tDataset input, tDataset output, and tData prep run components, which are used within Talend Cloud, where it will let you run some of the preparations that you prepare on Talend data preparation tool. You can see here, right? This, which is a cloud application, but let's say you want to run some of the recipes, that's what you call them, that you create in there. If you want to trigger them using Studio, you use couple of components like dataset input, dataset output, and data prep run. You can create datasets from various databases and export them in Talend Cloud data preparation, or leverage a preparation directly in data integration job or Spark job. And also you can create Talend jobs using Talend Studio with tData stewardship task output, or tData stewardship task input, and tData stewardship task delete, to load, retrieve, or delete tasks from the campaigns created in the Talend Cloud data stewardship. So whatever you create in Talend data preparation are called recipes or preparations, and whatever you create on Talend data stewardship are called campaigns. So if you wanna trigger those or delete or read data from those, you can call few components that are dedicated to this. And then just like that, you can import an API definition from Talend Cloud API Designer, which we have this application here, to implement it and test it with Talend Cloud API Tester, which is on the clients or the local network side. Then we have the remote engine and the remote engine Gen 2, which are two different types, and the Talend runtime server are used to run artifacts, tasks, preparations, and pipelines on premise. So you use remote engine to run your tasks and artifacts, whereas you will use remote engine Gen 2 to run your pipelines. and you will use runtime server to run your routes. Then we have Talend Cloud API Tester, which lets you create or import requests and scenarios to test your API. You can also automate your test using the Maven plugin. So those are the different applications or tools that are available on your local network. So let's see on the cloud infrastructure. So the cloud infrastructure includes cloud applications and cloud engines. So in the TMC, you can, the one that you are seeing here, in the TMC, that you can administer roles, projects and licenses. You can create new users for the cloud applications and assign them to custom groups. You can then define roles and assign them to your users. TMC is also used to import your license files and create projects to collaborate on in Studio. In addition, you can enable data and file transfer, data integration, and access to shared data sources for web users. You can also, for example, import and use pre-configured sample tasks or design tasks that automate the exchange and synchronization of data between applications. You can do a lot more than whatever I just mentioned you here using Talend Management Console. And let's talk about Talend Pipeline Designer. You can design complex end-to-end pipelines to process, enrich, and transform data at rest or in motion. You can run these pipelines either on-premise using a local remote engine Gen 2 or on the cloud using either the embedded cloud engine or a remote engine Gen 2 installed on your virtual private cloud. The choice is yours. And then the Talend Data Inventory. You can use Talend Data Inventory to manage and maintain an inventory of data assets managed within Talend Cloud. Data assets are added to this inventory whenever they are collected or created using Talend Cloud Pipeline Designer or Talend Cloud Data Preparation. These data sets are automatically profiled and associated with a trust score. They can then be shared so that other users in the Talend Cloud platform can easily find them. And then we have Talend Cloud Data Preparation. Using this, you can import your data from local files or other sources and cleanse or enrich it by creating new preparations. Then we have Talend Cloud Data Stewardship, where campaign owners manage data sets and organize the data interactions whenever human intervention is required to collaborate on data curation, arbitration, or validation. Talend Data Service lets you add, remove, or modify the semantic categories that are applied to each column in your data when opened in Talend Cloud Data Preparation or Talend Cloud Data Stewardship. Then the Talend Cloud API Designer, you can design APIs or import existing definitions, publish their documentation, and create mocks. You can then export your definitions in OpenAPI specification or Swagger or Ramo. You can also test your APIs on Talend Cloud API Tester at any step in the design. So those are different applications that are currently available within Talend Data Fabric license version of Talend Cloud. Talend engines are on the right side. Talend engines are used to run artifacts, tasks, preparations, and pipelines in the cloud. You will have to pay Talend in terms of something called tokens. When you buy Talend Cloud from Talend, any license tab, they will give you certain tokens, and you can also buy tokens from Talend. But remember, you cannot use Talend Cloud engine for batch processes, and even the ad hoc processes it's expensive. So think twice before using Talend engine to run your jobs. So all these I have shown you in the next section or next slide, local network services, Talend Cloud remote engine. You can go through these once you finish watching this video. I'm going to attach this PPT to the first lecture, so you can download and go through this after watching the videos. And then I have also provided different cloud infrastructure applications. And let's talk about Talend Cloud versus Talend on-premise. It's not, obviously it's not apple to apple comparison, you should not be doing that, but let's see what are the different things that are available on one version and not on the other. So if you are familiar with Talend on-premise, you already know in order to administer Talend products you use something called Talend Administration Console. With Talend Cloud you no longer have Talend Administration Console. Instead you have something called Talend Management Console, which does a subset of functionalities or features that Talend Administration Center does. Along with that, it also does a lot more than TAC. And TAC was installed, maintained, hosted by you or the client, whereas TMC is installed, maintained and hosted by Talend on cloud of your choice. Either it can be Azure or AWS. At this point those are the only two that are supported. Maybe in future you might even see Google Cloud. And with Talend on-premise, both Git and SVN are compatible, whereas with Talend Cloud only Git is compatible. So if you have your projects on SVN, then this is the time for you to move to Git, because at this point in time only Git is compatible with Talend Cloud. And artifact repository, if you are not using artifact repository, that's fine, but 90% of the clients who uses Talend publish their jobs as artifacts to one kind of artifact repository, mostly Nexus, was hosted by you with on-premise version to publish your jobs, whereas with Talend Cloud you don't need an artifact repository to publish your jobs. You can directly publish them to Talend Cloud. Talend Cloud has a artifact repository which is actually Nexus behind the scenes, but as a user you won't have the you don't have to manage it. All you have to do is publish it to Talend Cloud and it will publish the jobs to your Talend Cloud. You still have to use Talend Studio for designing and publishing jobs to Talend Cloud. Don't assume that when you move to Talend Cloud you are going to have a web user interface. You don't need Talend Studio. No, you still design your jobs as usual using Talend Studio, but instead of publishing to a Nexus repository you will publish to Talend Cloud. You still have to host a Nexus repository if you want to store your libraries centrally. Some companies, some clients might not be using this feature, but if you have a very big developer pool and if you want all your developers to use the same version of libraries or jars on the Talend Studio, so you would be already using a Nexus repository to store these libraries. Or if you have a CI/CD set up with your Talend, then definitely you will have a Nexus repository. If that's the case, then you still have to install or set up your own Nexus repository to store these libraries. Talend Cloud lets you promote tasks or plans to different environments from within TMC. So this is something completely new to Talend Cloud. Whereas let's say in your development, once the developer is done designing your job and does their integration testing, they publish it to Talend Cloud to dev environment, and then you run it from Talend Cloud. Once you get the approval to move it to the QA, then using Talend TMC you can promote it from the same artifact that you ran, promote it to QA using TMC. Once that artifact is tested in QA, you can easily promote the same artifact that you tested in QA to production using TMC again. So you don't need any external, which is if you are using a CI/CD, Talend Cloud does the CD part. You don't have to use some external software like Jenkins or TeamCity or any kind of deployment software. Talend Cloud does it for you. The CD part, CA part, you still have to use Jenkins or TeamCity Octopus or whatever it is. So remember that Talend Cloud lets you promote your artifacts from one environment to other with just clicks. You still have to set up your own remote job server. You can use Talend Cloud Engine for ad hoc operations, as I mentioned earlier, which is expensive though. So you remember that whenever you plan to use Talend Cloud Engine. If it is very small processes and you don't wanna take care of setting up remote job server, then you can use Talend Cloud Engine. But other than that, don't. And even setting up remote job server is pretty easy. We will see as part of this course, don't worry about it. So that's about lecture 2, which is about Talend Cloud Architecture. Thank you very much. See you in the next lecture. Peace out.